All right. Well, Matt, thank you very much for stopping by. I'm really excited to talk with you. I first heard about Guardian Angel
Yeah.
through Hyder.
Oh,
I saw
nice.
him posting some pictures.
That is the
That
man,
was
dude.
several months ago, right? Or like
Yeah.
late last year, maybe?
I want to say it's September, October, maybe.
Okay, okay, okay. So
Uh.
that's how I found about Guardian Angel and
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's a super nice guy. I saw him on the Contender Series. I'd been watching his fights previously. I'd never met him personally, but I had buddies that went to San Rafael, that went to TL, that knew him, talked about him all the time. So I was like, watched his fight, and I was like, I gotta, hit him up, send him some stuff, and
Okay,
he
okay.
he did a post for me, and it was freaking awesome. He's got a
Yeah, I was
he
gonna ask you if you went to school with him or not.
No, no, no. I met him, this year, and he's a super nice guy. I got to go to his New Year's Eve party. Nothing but nice people he surrounds himself
Really?
with. A wonderful crew, good
That's awesome.
family. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so yeah. I mean, I just met him this year, and it's been awesome.
Have you been to any of his fights
Yeah, yeah.
or yeah? Which ones?
Oh no, I haven't been personally in any of his fights. No, no, no.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
he fights at the Apex, and the
Uh-huh.
Apex is like a very high priced experience to go.
Yeah.
I was thinking of going to this one, but just like a little bit too of a high price point.
Hmm.
And once he fights in like T-Mobile or once he fights in these smaller venues, then the tickets will be more for the masses because the Apex tickets are like very limited. It's like a
Super
small,
pricey,
quaint.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But I've been to a bunch of UFC fights. I went to Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier when he broke his leg. We
No
were
way,
we were
you
there
you
live.
you were there?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
And we were all like, we had my first parlay ever, putting like a few bets together. I'd never done it before when I was in Vegas. Like my buddies talked about it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
How was that
And
experience?
two out of three legs won. The third one broke, and it was Conor McGregor. So it lost the bet, and we watched him break his leg live, and it was crazy.
Oh,
Still in the cage talking shit. Like, we're like, dude, you just broke your leg. Like, just chill out for a
you
second.
wife
But
send me DMs.
yeah, dude, he just doubles down. He doesn't ever stop. He just
That's
doubles
crazy.
down.
Yeah, yeah. I tried to go to the Khabib and McGregor fight, and I remember the tickets were gonna go on sale like at 10, I think, or something
Hmm.
like that. I was on my computer at 9, ready to go, dude.
Yeah.
And as soon as 10 o'clock hits, I start. I think it was 10. I can't remember the time, but I tried to buy the tickets and they were sold out.
Jesus.
And then I was there for like 4 hours trying and trying and trying, and I finally bought two tickets because it was gonna be my brother and I.
Oh heck yeah.
And 15 minutes later, the money was refunded. I was
Oh
so upset. I don't know why or how they do that, but it was just like
yeah.
instantly they were all gone, dude.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I imagine someone else buys up a bunch of them and then resells them and makes that money, which is unfortunate that that
Yeah,
happens like that because it's like we just want to go and have the experience. We don't,
exactly. Yeah,
we're not
yeah,
trying to make money off an experience. We're
yeah.
trying to go and genuinely have it. It's the same thing with the shoe industry. It drives me nuts.
Really.
It's like shoes go on drop. All these people who have access to them, I don't know how.
Hmm.
Like I always try to buy stuff on drop, and I've never once got it. And
Really.
you see these people that have 10,000 pairs of them on drop, and you're like, how the heck do you get that? And then they charge $200 or $300 more for these kids that just want to buy shoes and wear them. And
Yeah, yeah.
it's messed up, man. Because you're not adding to society if you're making people pay more for something that you paid less for. Like, there's nothing happening there besides you having something exclusive that other people don't.
True. Yeah, yeah. I think it's like bots. They like
Yeah,
um somebody explained this to me. They memorize like the what's it called?
like the algorithm or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
like where the checkup button is, and they just like doing that all day long. So that's why they sell out hella fast.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
that's just a bummer, man.
yeah.
So
So are you really into shoes?
yeah, for
How
sure.
many pair of shoes do you have? Like
Uh,
exclusive
not
shoes?
not like crazy a lot. As like growing up, like I never was able to get the really cool shoes I wanted. So once I became an adult, I was like, I'm gonna scratch that itch. I'm gonna handle those. So like a couple different pairs of Iversons, a couple different pairs of Jordans, some Yeezys. Even though
Mm,
like that whole thing is
yeah,
all he still made cool ass shoes, and
yeah.
I still rock with them. That's what I'm wearing right now. These are like Yeezy basketball shoes.
Okay.
I've been trying to get them. They like re-released them, and I got them on drop. Thank God. Otherwise, they're like 500 or 600 bucks.
Really?
Yeah. But as far as like pair wise, I'm probably less than like 12,
Okay.
and that's like over the past like 7 or 8 years of
Got it. Got it.
collecting like individual shoes. Like I really like Disney. I really like Donald Duck, and I found these Donald Duck pirate ship Gucci canvas like painted shoes in
Hmm.
my size. I've never worn them, never taken them out of the box. But it's just
Really?
like little treasures I keep. I guess you could call
Got
them
it. Got it.
for sure.
How pricey were they? Are they pretty pricey or?
So cheat code for Gucci stuff. Sometimes, every once in a while, they'll have really cool stuff at the Liver. I think it's the Livermore outlet.
Huh.
and it's like a Gucci outlet, and they have shoes there for like 300, 400, which is
Mm,
like expensive for shoes, obviously, but
yeah.
really cheap for Gucci, if that makes
Got it.
sense.
Yeah.
And so you can get shoes that you can wear all the time, and it's not like that big of a deal, you know?
You should buy two pairs all the time. Wear
Yeah,
one and then save the other.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, now I have to convince myself to wear my nice ones because
Yeah.
I work at so my main job, Guardian Angel, is like my passion, my creativity, but my main job and my main like passion and creativity towards work is working with kids with special needs.
Mm,
So
that's awesome.
wearing shoes around kids with special needs and like the amount of, bubbles or soap or water or like dirt or things are flying around,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll draw on your shoes, so I kind of keep those like to myself, but um
Like
just
for the weekend type of thing, or
yeah, yeah,
yeah, going
or
out.
just to have like little, like I said, little treasures. These are
Got
like
it.
my
Yeah.
little life treasures that I
Yeah.
have. Maybe I'll pass them down to my kid one day.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
And do they go up in value as time goes by? You think, or it depends on the shoe? Or
Depends on the shoes, depends on the exclusivity, depends if they're re-releasing them. Like there's a bunch of different factors that come into it.
hmm.
There's some shoe creators that pass away after they make a certain amount of shoes. Like the guy who made Off-White, this like crazy cool brand, worked with
Hmm.
Louis Vuitton. Like he passed away, unfortunately, but all his stuff that he made previously before he passed has gone like absolutely insane
Really?
because it's exclusive and you can't get it anymore. So
It
that's
makes
like
sense.
it's like cool that they're honoring like that quality like that.
Hmm.
But it's kind of hard to say like you have to pay all this money for these shoes if you want to be a part of it, which is it's like a 50-50 thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So where are you from, Matt? Are you originally from the Bay Area or?
Born and raised in San Rafael, California.
Awesome. Cool.
So I'm my fourth generation San Rafael. My grandparents grew up downtown San Rafael. My dad grew up downtown San Rafael, and then me.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So you went to SR and all that stuff?
Started at Sun Valley, went to Davidson, and then had kind of a really bad experience at Davidson. Was bullied pretty significantly my seventh grade year, and it was a really tough situation for me. I kept it all to myself, internalized it all, didn't really know how to express it to my my family, my
Hmm.
friends, and then eventually like shared it with my mom, and we were able to like rectify the whole situation. But I wanted to go to a different school after that for sure.
Oh, okay.
So I ended up going to St. Isabella's, and that's where I met my best friend, who's literally been my best friend since we were in T-ball, but we disconnected, went to different schools, obviously.
Uh huh.
But once eighth grade happened, like we've been inseparable ever since, like high school, college, everything.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He's my day one.
Is he from SR as well?
Yeah, from San Rafael.
Cool. Cool.
We
Cool.
grew up neighborhood next to each other.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's
That's
super cool.
awesome, dude.
But what were we talking about? More specifically, yeah, no, San Rafael, Santa Benicia area.
Hmm.
So close to like the JCC, close to Galenas. Like I used to play at Galenas all the time. Well, now it's Benicia Valley, but
Yeah.
it's Galenas. And it's funny actually because I ended up working there at Benicia Valley, working in the special education department. And it's just crazy. I used to play there as a kid, and then now I'm like here working.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it must be a nice experience.
Yeah,
You going to school there, and then it's different now. It looks different because I went to Galinas as well,
yeah, for
like
sure it
for
does.
in elementary school. So it's my son played soccer there once, and he just brought a lot of memories back. The
Yeah,
benches are still the same, I think.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it does bring memories
Do you
back.
remember all those like big oak trees on the playground and like the wooden playground, and then there was like just rows of oak trees,
Yeah,
and then now they're all gone. It's
yeah,
like a
yeah,
big field they built there, so it's like it's weird to see,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it changes over time.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And then how did you start working with special ed?
So it happened very, very organically,
Uh
and
huh.
I'm like super grateful for how this happened. So I was originally working at a place called Hellers for Children. It was we sold cribs, car seats, furniture, and it was like the number one baby. I don't know who you say it, like store for everything for kids.
Mm-hmm.
It was called the Hellers for Children. It was created by a guy named Herbert Heller, who was actually a Holocaust survivor, which was the craziest thing
Whoa.
ever. Heard his stories, listened to him, talked to him, the sweetest man ever. You would never know that happened to him. So it was like an honor to work for him. They actually just made a movie about him. It's
Really?
called Among the Giants. It's like super, super good.
Where could you watch it?
I think it's on. They're slowly releasing it. I don't know if you can watch it yet. So they're doing like private screenings. So there
Okay.
was
Okay.
like the last private screening I think was Thursday, but hopefully they'll release it on Amazon so everyone can watch it because it's just a beautiful story. But anyway, so I worked for him and installed car seats, installed did furniture stuff, did furniture sales, like knew everything about you know everything you need when you have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to Kaiser, I mean not Kaiser, Marin General a couple times and do the presentation at 19 years old to all the people that just had a kid, about car seats, about safety, and I'm just this 19-year-old kid standing in front of all these people doing this. Crazy.
Hmm.
But it gave me like the confidence to understand like the early development, early childhood, and what the things kids need
Yeah.
early on. So I was looking just randomly online for on Craigslist back when you could like find a good job on Craigslist, or you could find something decent. This is like 2010, 2009.
Hmm.
There's a family, hey, two boys need help after school. So it was like perfect. Picked them up from preschool, started working with them. One of them had like kind of a neurological disorder that caused a lot of brain inflammation. So we'd have like a lot of trouble with impulse control. So it was more so like helping him self-regulate, teaching him how to regulate, and all these different things. That went to him going to school and needing an aide. So the mom, this amazing mom, paid for my training. So she paid for my training to work with her son in school. And that led to me meeting my boss, who I have now, who I work with in all the school districts in Marin County. So it was just like this trickle down effect of going to help these kids. Okay,
Hmm.
that's going to lead to this helping this kid. That's going to lead to helping this kid. And it just happens so organically that I'm just like beyond grateful, beyond like blessed to have this opportunity to work with kids, because it's never truly worked. It's
Hmm.
like I learned different perspectives of different things of life that like you kind of forget as an adult. Like
Hmm.
that little magical spark that you have
Hmm.
when you're a kid, when you see something that makes you super happy, and as an adult we're like grumpy and we're like tired and we're making all these excuses to not have fun and be kids again. And so working with kids, it just keeps that spark alive in me.
Got
So
it. Got it.
yeah.
So, you don't have a like a specific location. You move from
So
school to school.
depending on the contract. So I was at Venetia Valley, previously Galenas, as we would like to call it,
Hmm.
for the last 5 years. The kid graduated from the program, of the SDC program, to go to a different program. So then that contract's done. So then I need to, find another contract to have. I ended up like um, finding another contract just completely randomly. I was substituting at Venetia Valley for someone else that I used to work for. And I asked her and I said like, hey, like, just talk to her about, my background and working with kids with special needs. And she knew me for a long time. And she goes, hey, like, we want to make sure if we find a job, if it comes across, we want to, set you up with it.
Hmm.
So she set me up with a job, and I ended up working at my old elementary school that I used to work at, that I used to go to. Like if you ask me what my favorite school is, it would be Sun Valley, like in the world, like Sun Valley. And I had the
Hmm.
opportunity to work there. So I was like, absolutely. And that all happened organically. So I'm just like sitting here just so blessed. And next year I have an opportunity to work in San Rafael High with this amazing child, super high intelligent, and just brings nothing but joy to the people around him. And that's like, I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. So you only work with one student at a time.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Okay.
in
Okay.
the school district, so the way that it's kind of set up, I mean, people can have multiple aides for one kid, but usually if you want to build like good rapport, good understanding, good like routine, you kind of have one that's there, boots on the ground, handling business.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I've been essentially doing with kids with special needs. What whether that's Down syndrome. I worked at the autism clinic in San Francisco for a while, working with kids with pandas, brain inflammation stuff. So it's just like all these different pieces of information I've gathered that I can have in my like book to use,
Hmm.
and it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this?
I mean, off and on my whole life, like I guess you could say. So like when I was like 16, 17, I would work with kids that didn't have dads, work with kids that didn't have a male role model in their life to like help, teach them how to play baseball, teach them how to throw, teach them like just simple stuff that these kids didn't even know.
And
And
what made you have this passion
I
to
think
help people out?
a couple things. So my mom was a preschool teacher. So when I was going through my tough time at Davidson, my mom's a preschool teacher down the street at Trinity. So when I'm having a tough time, I was going to Trinity and I was helping my mom with the kids, working with the kids, and I didn't realize it then, but I was like setting myself up for my future.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just random how it all kind of fell into place.
That's awesome. Good for you.
I appreciate that.
That's pretty cool.
It's
I think you need to have a lot of passion and patience to do that type of work. I think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so rewarding that it's you know, I just feel like my heart is so full every day going to work. Like it's the perspective of just being there and being grateful all the time,
Hmm.
just in any opportunity that you get in life.
Yeah. And is this like during school hours
Yeah,
or is it different
yeah.
times?
So I'm going to be a 1-to-1. So it's basically helping facilitate a high functioning child with special needs integrated into general education.
Hmm.
So going to different classes and kind of being a chaperone, kind of being a guide, kind of helping navigate, those different, like, high school can be crazy. So
Yeah.
high school can be even crazier for a kid with special needs who doesn't understand that some of the stuff he's seeing is not like normal stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's to be there to help guide and help facilitate an amazing day for him.
So you're just walking uh to the classes with them and stuff,
Well,
or
watching, supervising,
exactly? Yeah.
walking,
Yeah.
supervising, helping facilitate homework, paperwork, everything. So, I
That's
mean,
cool.
doing a lot of play. He loves basketball. I'm super
Yeah.
passionate about basketball, so we get an opportunity to play all the time. And,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah. So you were at the soccer field. Was it last weekend or 2 weekends ago?
I want to last weekend. I'm
Last
pretty sure.
weekend, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How are you associated with them?
So
Are you part of that league or
their
just
assistant coach Max is one of my good buddies. So he asked me if I could just help out. So
oh,
I was
okay?
like, I'll throw some Guardian Angel stuff out there. They actually just got promoted. Uh, San Rafael FC. They got promoted to I think I want to say the higher. I don't know exactly like the terminology, but promoted to the next league up, so the higher competition and potentially to reach the ultimate goal of becoming a full semi-pro team. I want to say. I don't know the actual intricate stuff, but they just handled business. Had an undefeated season, super fun to watch. All these guys are super super talented,
Yeah.
and it's awesome to bring that to Marin and like have that in Marin, have that. I live close to San Rafael. I can drive down and go see these amazing soccer games right
Yeah.
down the
True.
street from me. And so I just literally was there helping him out, helping him out, watching soccer, and organically you walk in. You were wearing that big hat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hat, and I like complimented your hat. Like I always noticed fashion stuff.
Yeah.
It's like always been like a huge passion of mine since I was a kid of just like unique fashion.
Yeah.
Like I always say, like you can't blend in if you were born to stand out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like be an individual, be creative, like wear what you want.
Hmm.
Don't listen to people's opinions on all these different things because
True.
otherwise you're not being yourself. You're
Yeah.
hindering like your full life experience that you could have.
Yeah. That was a new style that I'm trying out. I had a guayabera with my hat and stuff. Just trying something new.
Yeah, it worked. What was the thing you said you were wearing? How did you pronounce that?
Guayabera.
What is that? What is that?
It's like a Cuban shirt that has like some embroidering on the sides.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it
That's
was
pretty.
black, so you couldn't really tell.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
black on black is super cool though.
yeah,
Like that uniqueness when the sun hits it or anything. Like obviously, like
yeah,
I make a lot of like black clothes. Black's like one of my favorite colors,
yeah.
even though it's not really. I guess you could say not really. Or is it all the colors or is it none of the colors? Like
It's a great
absorbing.
question.
I want it is does you don't know? Because it's like one of them white like absorbs all the colors or black absorbs all the colors or black
Black
absorbs all the heat.
absorbs
Okay, yeah. So like
all the colors, I think.
all the colors then.
I think
So
so.
then like the black being my favorite colors, all the colors. That's
Got it, got it,
necessary.
got it,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
So Guardian Angel. What's Guardian Angel all about?
So you got to go back to the beginning to understand what Guardian Angel represents because there's multiple tiers to it, multiple levels to it. So originally it was I don't know if you can see, but this tattoo on my hand, this was my French bulldog Brody,
Show
and
it to the camera.
and right here, Shangri-La tattoo, Laurent, my boy, all my tattoos, everything I've got over in the canal on Louis Street. I think it's 92 Louis Street. If anyone looks up or needs tattoos or whatnot, like he's the man.
What's his name?
Laurent.
Does he have a shop
Yeah,
or?
Shangri-La tattoo. They're on
Oh, okay,
Instagram
okay.
too. It's super super high quality. He's done like everything that I have. Like I'm basically covered from here to my chest, like all the way, and he's done all of them, and it's all been like unique pieces that I found, and we worked together in this like creative experience, and then end result is what it is. But anyway, so it all started with my French bulldog Brody. So around when I was 28, I was kind of having a similar experience that I was like when I was in seventh grade, was just being down, being depressed, like kind of in a time in my life where I didn't know what I was going to do, if I was going to continue working with kids with special needs. I had like a lot of financial pressure from stuff in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking, like, do I need to get this high paying job? Do I need to go stop this and get a high paying job or do this? And I was like having this really hard like internal battle with myself because
Mm-hmm.
I had pressure from girl I was dating, family. They made a lot of money, and I come from like lower middle class. I don't have a lot of money. Everything I've earned, I've worked hard
Work
for.
for it, yeah.
Never been gifted anything by my parents. Like my dad's a plumber, my mom's a teacher, and they've been like grinding their whole life. So I've learned hard work, hard work, hard work.
Mm-hmm.
So during that whole time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna work with kids with special needs. I'm like, this is what makes me happy. Like I'm not gonna chase the money. Like that's not gonna bring you happiness. Like obviously. So I was like, I parted ways with that situation that I was in. Started working with kids with special needs full time. I'm going back to Venetia Valley, working in the middle school, and I'm going to get a haircut like before my first day of work. And the lady that cuts my hair, her name's Danica, Oak and Ivy Salon up in Rona Park. I want to say Rona Park, yeah. Does an amazing job. We used to drive up there all the time, get haircuts, but driving around a park now takes like hours sometimes because of all this crazy traffic that
Yeah.
allegedly they're gonna fix the roads or not fix the roads, and it's like
Yeah. It
been
takes
15
forever.
years of the same stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't get it, but I'm not a construction worker, so I don't understand. Whatever they're working on, I guess. But so she's cutting my hair and she's just talking. And she's like, "Hey, I have a friend that's interested in like co-owning a French bulldog. Would you be interested in that?" I was like, "Co-owning a French bulldog. This seems like kind of strange. Like I don't really know. Sure, I'll go meet her.
Yeah.
Go meet her. There's a big dog, like a big kind of mastiff, another French bulldog, and this little tiny guy runs right up to me, jumps up into my arms. Like this little puppy, he's maybe 6 months old at this
Mm.
time, jumps right into my arms. And when I was going through that whole situation, like obviously I was kind of feeling low, and this dog just came up and jumped for joy, like right into my arms, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm down to co-own this dog with you. Took it home, kept it, never heard anything from her. Never heard anything from this lady about co-owning. She wanted to breed it, I think, and he was like a total stud. So he would have made beautiful bulldogs, but I just wanted to have him as like, my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So get him just completely randomly like that. Didn't it just happened, right? So I was like, we're gonna put our lives back together. Like he was being bullied by this big dog and this little dog. I was like, I'm gonna teach you confidence. We're gonna get you big. We're gonna take you on hikes,
Mm.
and turned him into this like 30-pound stud of a bulldog. So as he's healing and getting big, I'm healing and working with kids with special needs and
Yeah.
finding that passion, that creativity again, and shedding all of those negative feelings and turning it into gratitude. And so I promised Brody, I was like, one day I'm gonna make you eternal for all this help that you've given me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna make you eternal. So I came up with this design and this logo for my first clothing company, which was MJS Clothing, and it was all about like French bulldog streetwear.
Mm.
So it was super cool. I have a couple hoodies left. I'll send you so you could see. But I did like an Indiana Jones one. I did like a Friday the 13th, but it was Frenchie the 13th, like kind of
Oh
like
shit.
a
That's
like
dope.
a murderous French bulldog. And then did a couple other just like lifestyle pieces with MJS. But last May, unfortunately, I'm over at work and I get a call from my mom that, hey, Brody's having a seizure. We're gonna bring him into the emergency room. And this had happened 2 or 3 times before, and he had like a little seizure. Go in, get some meds, comes back that day. It's all good. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So here then in the morning I go to work. I kind of put that in my head, like, okay, he'll be okay. Get a call around 3 o'clock. Hey, you need to come down. He took a turn for the worse. He's not going to be able to come back from this. And like the way
Oh.
that the nurse was kind of phrasing it, she was like being very delicate with it. So I was kind of like grabbing to hope strings, like, wait, is he okay? Is he alive? Is he still here? Like, what are you saying? She was like, well, I would just recommend that you come down here. And it's actually a really traumatic situation for my dad. So my dad ends up going down there first. He gets there before I can. And he goes in to see Brody. And they hadn't checked on him and he had already passed. So my
Ooh.
dad walks in to see him in a cage, that thinking he's still alive and he passed. So my dad's panicking. My dad's like, "Oh my god, like get in here like this." And they tried to resuscitate him like in front of my dad and it didn't come back. So
Oh.
I'm like so grateful for my dad that he went and like was there and was like, obviously it's a traumatic situation, but like the bravery it took for him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt terrible for it because it put him in this traumatic situation. So I was like, man, like then this next couple like weeks, this months, like I'm gonna do everything I can to like help nurture my dad because I know it's gonna be like a hard situation to
Mm-hmm.
like swallow.
Yeah.
So we went there. I got there, and he's on the table. Everyone's had animals pass before, but having one pass tragically and without like kind of reason is super hard. Like he was a stud. I would take him on 3 or 4 mile hikes with me. Like super built, super healthy, ate like an ox, like just amazing dog. So it was super strange, and we couldn't really quantify like how this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I was having like a really hard time understanding like what to do next on my clothing company because it was all based on him. Like my logo, my warehouse, everything in my room is all him.
Mm.
And so like that's hurting my heart because I'm like,
Yeah.
like man, like what, like I don't get to see you get old. Like I don't get to see all these other things. So it was like super tough.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of I woke up one morning and I was like, what would Brody want? And I was like, he would probably want like people to all that loved him and cared for him to all have a piece of it. So all my friends and my family and people that knew Brody, I gifted a lot of my clothes. I was like, he'd want you to have this, like he'd want you to have this, and just kind of giving back and like kind of doing something good helped like stimulate a little bit of like happiness in me. So I was
Mhm.
like, okay, there's something here. So I'm talking to my roommate, and I was like, like it's tough, like when we lose people, but if we gain a guardian angel, like it's it's not like we're losing them.
Mhm.
I was like, guardian angels, ooh, I really like that. And so I literally that night, I'm on my phone, I'm designing, I'm looking for different little, different fonts, I'm looking for different text, I'm looking for different inspiration to come up with this guardian angel logo, and I literally came up with it that night
Mhm.
as soon as I like came up with the concept of it, because it's so much more than just dogs. Like it's so much more than just like a French bulldog, like a French bulldog street where it's your grandma, it's your grandpa, it's your uncles, it's your great grandma, it's your lineage, it's everyone. Like everyone becomes our guardian angels. No one
Mhm.
ever truly leaves us. I like to think like they have they're guiding us in some way, shape, or form that we don't even really know about. But
Yeah.
if we think about life like that, it makes it a little bit easier.
Mhm.
So once I came up with that idea, I went back to my tattoo guy. I added my G and my A and my cross, and then I came up with these logos I have right here. And the rest has been kind of history. I've just been having fun cooking with creativity, whether it's embroidered shorts, whether it's like screen printed hoodies. I got a couple different things in the works. I'm making like a silk button up right now. So I want to just make high fashion and streetwear affordable for like the masses. But
Mhm.
it's like the way that I do it is in a unique way where it's not accessible to everyone. So I never built a website. That's like one of my things that I've always been interested in, like the personable communication, like talking to someone, them getting to know your brand, them understanding your brand, and if you're interested, absolutely, like buy in for sure. I appreciate that. Like I'm gonna give you a discount on whatever you're interested in. So the thing that I want to set up now is anybody that follows my Instagram, like Guardian Angel CA on Instagram, anyone who follows it, I'll send you a personal message thanking you for your support and sending you a private discount, like, and then showing you my inventory. So I'm coming to you with what I have, and if you're interested, awesome. If you're not, it's all good.
Mhm.
Because I wanted to make it more of a unique experience than just going on some online thing and clicking on something and then buying it, which is super convenient. I get, but it's not about the money to me. It's not. It's more about the culture. It's more about the uniqueness of having something that's cultivated in a different way than the masses.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So how did you get the idea to start a clothing brand? You
So
explain on how you started it, but
yeah.
what got you into like what? Because I had a clothing brand as well.
Oh, nice.
It didn't work out.
That's okay though. You still got the
um,
creativity in you though.
yeah. And that's why I kind of stopped because I didn't. I'm not very good with graphic design and stuff like that. So that was like one of the hardest things for me
Yeah,
personally. Um,
it's quite a challenge.
yeah, the reason I started a clothing brand because I used to work out a lot. I used to go to an MMA gym and stuff,
Oh, nice.
and I felt like on top of the world, when you're like healthy and
Absolutely.
stuff like that. So I was like, how can I express this, feeling that I have? So I started a clothing brand.
Nice.
Um,
What was it called?
it was called Empire Vesture.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a cool name.
So that's how I kind of started with the clothing brand. So how did you start with your clothing brand? Like,
I
what
got
got you into it? Like, what do you
so
like graphic design? What
yeah,
was it?
multiple things as well too. So I'll throw it back to my mom.
Hmm.
My mom, when I was in fifth and sixth grade, met some lady that was like, your kids are cute. Let's get them into modeling." My mom's like, "What the heck is that?" Like sure, like thinking it's just some random thing.
Hmm.
The lady ended up knowing the owner of an agency in San Francisco. So my mom like signed us up as kids. She's like, "All right, yeah, let's see what we could do with this." My dad worked full time. My mom worked full time, so it was like really hard to like try and find time to balance that.
Hmm.
So I ended up signing up with this, and I got a full time gig at Levi Strauss doing something called fit modeling. Fit modeling is like a unique avenue of modeling where it's the measurements of your body fit their specs of what they're trying to design their clothes like. So essentially, you're a human mannequin, and they're designing the clothes on you.
Oh damn.
So, and when I was in sixth grade, at 12 years old, I'm watching these 50 corporate people design clothes in front of me, standing there like absorbing all this information. Like, okay, so okay, this. At 12 years old, it's kind of hard to process like a lot of the things they're saying, but like I took the aspect of like the design of the like they're taking this inception of an idea. 3 weeks later, I'm back in there, and the thing is made. And I was like, wow, how do you do that? Like, what do you do? And, always took an interest in doing that. And ever since then, I just had like an itch that I wanted to scratch. Like I wanted to make something really cool. I wanted to make unique clothing. I wanted to make like streetwear because I love wearing it. Like I just design stuff I love to wear,
Hmm.
and like if you buy into it, if you're interested in it, if you think it's cool, like if you want to give me a compliment, if don't like it, it's all good. And like it makes me super happy. So feeling that passion that I learned from when I was such an at 12 years old in the fashion industry, and then bringing it forth to now, it's like all that information's still in my head, and I'm able to like you know find different sourcing, find different if I'm trying to design something, it's like pocket placement here versus here, hoodie placement, string placement, everything. Like so, it's just tapping back into that information, and that's where that creativity truly came from. Um, the graphic design aspect is super hard because it's just so many different avenues you can take, and you're like your biggest critic, obviously. So you're like, oh, that could look a little different. Maybe move this here, maybe move that here. And early on, I would ask a lot of people's opinions, like obviously because I was starting something that I didn't have any idea of what it was going to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I would ask people's opinions a lot, and then kind of realize that it's like you'll get so much feedback and so many different opinions, and it's like you're losing your individuality if you're doing that. So I was like, forget it. Like if it looks amazing to me, if I love it, I'm gonna make it, and that's how I've kind of followed suit from there.
Got it. Got it. How do you choose? Like, for example, the hoodie that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you do that? Do you work with somebody? Do you
Yes.
have a heat press with you? Do you just send your artwork to a company and they make the hoodie for you? How do you make your stuff?
So a couple different things. So I made some really good connections in Marin. Like obviously starting out, you could go the route of me doing my own screen printing. It's a lot of work, a lot of ink, a lot of different things. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna find a source. I'm gonna source someone for screen printing.
Okay, okay, okay.
Worked with this guy in the canal. It's amazing. Does amazing work. Super high quality stuff. Like send my artwork, go over, talk to him, lay out what we want to do, and like it's just a really pleasant experience to work with him. So I have the screen printer for a lot of my screen printing work, whether it's hoodies, whether it's shorts, and my embroidery. I have another guy in the canal that I work with. Uh, his name's Jamie. He's like super sick, super cool guy. He's helped me with those. I don't know if you've seen. I got a couple custom jerseys, with like a Christian McCaffrey custom
Yeah,
jersey.
seen it, yeah.
I did a Steph Curry custom jersey, and
Mm.
he's helping me with all the embroidery and all my designs, and just these like having these connections just helps build this business of like uniqueness and individuality of just placing all these pieces together. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's always been so like my other thing that I always wanted to do is I wanted to make like limited stuff. I didn't want to make it so I make 100 of something, I make 200 of something, like you know I wanted to make like limited stuff. So I'll do like 7 of each size. So I'll do like maybe 32 total items of this hoodie, and once it's sold out, it's gone. So it keeps it so that it's unique stuff, but it's not everyone can have it. Most times you're not going to see someone wearing it, and because it's probably sold out if there's only 7 of them,
Mm-hmm.
depending on where it goes in the world. So I don't know. It's just I'm just having fun with it. Honestly, it's just you know creative. It's fun because working with kids with special needs, like that's my income. That's my my livelihood,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like creativity and like just passion. So it's always super fun to just create in any way.
When let's say you sold out on a design
Hmm.
and people want it, like, do you just not do it at all,
Yeah.
or depends if it's like very
No,
popular?
I'm gonna
Would you
keep it.
make an exception?
No, I'm gonna keep
No.
it. I mean, if I'm making one of one pieces or one off pieces, could probably make like another additional like unique jersey or a unique hoodie. But for the most part, my stuff that I produce, I want to keep it like limited like that. I like the aspect of it because
Yeah.
it's cool. It's like I don't have 500 hoodies with everyone wearing the same hoodie. It's like something unique, a little, if you don't like the black hoodie, you could have the green hoodie, or you can have I made these really cool zip ups with like a pink skull with shiny teeth, like, and looking at those makes me super happy. And it's just, I'm just enjoying everything that I'm making.
Aside from your friends and family, have you seen people wear your stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 How
Yeah.
does that make you feel?
Amazing. It's very unique. So like aspects of, for my friends, for example. So one of my buddies was wearing one of my hoodies in the gym. Girl came up to him and was like, "Oh, I love your hoodie. Like, where'd you get it?" He's like, "Oh, this guy made it." Boom. That's a sale right there. Like, help her buy in to the brand, give her a discount, obviously, because she works with my friend, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just like unique randomness like that. I call it
Yeah.
unique randomness because it really is. Like, someone will give me a compliment on like a pair of shorts I'm wearing. I'm like, "Oh, I actually designed them," and then I get an opportunity to talk to them about Guardian Angel, talk to them about where it came from, show them my tattoos, and kind of get them understanding like where it all is from instead of it just being like some brand I'm trying to sell for money.
Yeah.
If that
True.
makes sense.
Yeah. How many? It's probably a hard, or I don't know if you know the answer, but like, how many designs have you done since you started?
I would
Do you keep
say,
track of all this
yeah,
stuff,
yeah, oh,
or
yeah, oh, yeah,
yeah?
yeah, yeah. When I started MJS Clothing, I want to say I released 5 hoodies under that MJS Clothing. So you'll see, no, there's some around town. Some of the kids that I worked with at Venetia Valley like would love my company, and I was like the biggest famous person to these kids, and that made me so happy.
Yeah, I
So I
bet.
would give at the graduation, I gave everyone a hoodie, I gave everyone a shirt, and one of the days we did like a T-shirt design. So I brought in a bunch of blank T-shirts and I taught them all how to design shirts, and it was like just a magical experience to do that. So it's MJS you'll see a lot like around kind of the schools and whatnot. A lot of the kids that still have it. I see one of the kids wearing it all the time in
What does
downtown
that
Santa Fe.
stand for?
Matthew John Streckus. So
Okay,
it's my initials.
got it.
And yeah, so it wasn't like obviously I love my initials, but it wasn't that creative like pop that I wanted. And then unfortunately, once Brody passed, I got the creative pop of Guardian Angel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a 50-50, a good and a bad. But I always like to think of it as a blessing because there's things we can't control in life. Like
True.
obviously, I could sit and be sulking about how my dog died and it's super sad and like why this and like but that doesn't help me move forward in life. That doesn't help me progress in life or grow in life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the opportunity to take a tragic experience and turn it into like a positive or turn it into like a powerful thing, it'll help you change like so much negativity out of your life.
True. Yeah. As far as designing, how does that work for you? Like, do you graphic design everything, or
Yeah.
do you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
somebody that does that for you?
So I do it all myself. It's
Really?
just like literally coming up with an idea. I'll just like, see something that inspires me. I'm like, how could I create that on my own? Go on my phone, go on my laptop, play around with designs, play around with drawing, play around with, how's this placement going to look here versus here? Like, do I want a front logo hoodie? Do I want a back logo hoodie? Do I want a big front logo? Like, it's always like this constant cycle of trying to figure it out. And then I would say it probably takes me, a couple days to like weed out what exactly that I want to do with it. And then like harnessing in on that and then moving forward with that. And,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's color, whether it's hoodie style, whether it's I want to do it on shorts or a hat or bucket hat or whatever. So it just kind of, progresses as it does in my creative like experience, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And where does that inspiration come for the design that you are working on? Is it things that you see? Do you have an idea on? Do you have? How can I say this? Does Guardian Angel have like an idea that's what you focus on and that's what you make your designs on, or it could be anything that you get inspired by, like.
A little bit of both, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
So always like old English has always been super interesting to me. Like I love old English, the way it looks, the way it's written, the way like everything. So
Mhm.
I wanted that concept of writing. Like a lot of my stuff is old English. Yeah, I mix it up. Yeah, I do different fonts and whatnot, different creative styles. But the old English has always just been super interesting to me. So that was like kind of one of the things. And I grew up Catholic. I grew up going to church, baptism, first communion, confirmation. Went to Catholic high school. So crosses have always been like super important to me. And I think we all carry our own crosses. We all have our burdens, in life that people don't see. So I actually have a hoodie I designed based on that. I had the artwork done from this amazing artist named Alex, and she did an amazing job of helping me like cultivate this idea. So sometimes I do have artists help me outside of me just doing all the graphic design, but in unique experiences, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. Um, but it's the crosses we carry. So it's like a hoodie. He's actually wearing it right there. So it's the neon green one, and it's got 2 crosses on the sleeves and a cross on the back, and it says "crosses we carry" because it's like a reminder. Like you don't know what someone's going through. Like you don't know if that person just lost their dad, that person just lost their mom, that person. We don't know these things about people around us, and a lot of
Mhm.
time, so quick to judge or so quick to be angry or so quick to like write people off instead of like maybe trying to understand their perspective and be like, like okay, maybe put myself in their shoes. How could I feel? Okay, that's what that hoodie like represents. So it's just like a thought that popped into my head, and I just ran with it.
Mhm.
So the crosses, the old English, and then just ideas as inspiration comes. It's kind of like experiences for my life too. So like my pink skull hoodie is like obviously like an homage to the Goonies, homage to like Post Malone's like shiny teeth, like just different aspects of things that I love in like pop culture and life that I just want to put all together into something really unique.
Mhm. Um, do you, for example, that pink hoodie that you're talking about, do you have a description on how it came about, or that hoodie, for example, is there a description where you release it? Like, Do you give
Oh yeah, yeah. So, like I mean, that was just I just release it as like the crosses we carry. So it's
uh-huh.
like I've been dropping hoodies like kind of sporadically. I haven't done it in like a timetable where I'm doing it like okay, every 3 weeks I drop a new hoodie or every month I drop a new hoodie. It's kind of as inspiration hits me,
Got it.
and you know, as it hits me, I just go with the flow and go with creativity and
Mm-hmm.
create it. And I wanted to focus on not like having so much stuff. My warehouse is my room. Like I have all my stuff in my room, like wrapped up, like sealed up. But it's like obviously if I have a bunch of stuff, I'm not gonna have any room in my room.
Yeah, yeah, for
So it's
sure.
I didn't want to overdo it. And then the other thing I noticed too is when I try to like force designs or try and rush designs or rush the process, I'll end up with something I don't love. And then how can I want to wear something I don't love? And why would anyone else want to buy into something that I don't love? The
True,
creator,
true, true. Yeah.
So just finding the balance between all those things.
How many designs do you have at the moment
Uh,
for sale? Is it like
currently,
one item and then you work on the next item until you sell out, or do you have a couple of different
I
options?
have like 5 or 6 hoodies right now. So I have this one. This is my Thunderstruck hoodie. It's like a super cool screen printed. It's got Guardian Angel down the sleeves and like kind of like a Thunderstruck font, like if it struck something,
Uh,
So it made all the letters all distorted.
uh-huh.
I have a Crosses We Carry hoodie, which is a neon green hoodie, and that's the one I was just describing before. I have a black zip up. It's called Never Say Die hoodie. So like the Goonies never say die, and Guardian Angels like never say die because they don't die if we gain a Guardian Angel. So like that's the inspiration behind that. I have a really cool one, my unique first design that I did on this really cool duck camo print. It's just my original logo like this here, and then big on the back. It's the one that you saw Hyder was wearing, the
Mm-hmm.
first original one that he did a post on,
Yeah.
which is super grateful for. And even if I didn't say it earlier, but July 20th he's fighting UFC. Check that out, man. It's about to be some fireworks. The hurricane's coming.
Yeah, I went to see sorry, we're kind of off track here, but I
Yeah,
went to see his fight at the SAP Center when he was still at the what was that organization? LFA, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I first saw him fight.
You saw the fireworks. You saw the
Yeah.
hurricane.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, he brings a different energy. It's so
Yeah.
sick to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he was wearing one of my original designs, so it's really cool duck camo. It's like a unique. It almost looks like Bape esque. It's a little different than Bape, but similar. So it's like
Similar, yeah, very
finding
similar. Yeah.
finding inspiration from Bape and making it my own. Like that's that perfect example of that right there. Then I have a really cool mineral wash. It's super soft, like super thin, embroidered simple GA on the chest. I have um, obviously these ones I talked about before. And then I have a really cool. There's like very limited much of these left. I did like a box logo. It's called All Dogs Go to Heaven. So I made my own box logo with this logo. So it's a stitch patch, and they were all individually stitched on center chest. And
Hmm.
then on the back, it's all the dogs in my life, and then all dogs go to heaven. So it's like an homage to that movie, like All Dogs Go to Heaven, but the aspect of English bulldog, couple French bulldogs, and a Rottweiler, which was Schmitty, Brody, Stella, and Shotzi were the 4 dogs that are on it. So it's like a
Okay.
piece of me in that hoodie as well too.
Hmm.
And then I have a couple different pairs of pants. I have these really cool Never Say Die as to match the hoodie. It's a like pink skull, silver teeth, Never Say Die down the right side, super comfortable, high quality. And then I have the mineral wash shorts to match the mineral wash hoodie.
Hmm.
And those are like my favorite shorts. I wear them like all the time. I've
Really?
probably worn them like 100 times. And when you wash them, they almost like get softer.
Huh.
So it's like more quality, more wear.
That's dope.
And I always wanted to source all my stuff from quality. I never
Hmm.
wanted to do cheap. I never wanted to do something that I'll make the highest profit margin. Like I want to find something that's quality that will last because that's what keeps people coming back to a brand.
Yeah.
You could have one sale. You could make something super cheap, have one sale, right? Person washes it, it's garbage. Like you throw it away the next time. So you're like, okay, I'm clearly not going to go back to that brand.
Hmm.
But if you have something where you can wash it hundreds of times and it still has the same quality, like he's sitting in one of my shirts I made 4 years ago, and the screen print on it still looks brand new.
Damn, that's dope.
Yeah. So I wanted to source and create this unique aspect of San Rafael like, and I didn't want to make it Marin County. A lot of companies are all Marin County. I'm born and raised in San Rafael. Like San Rafael is like my place. Like I love San Rafael. So I wanted to find brands and find well not brands. I wanted to find screen printers and embroiderers in San Rafael so I can like tap into the community and use and
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, of
and
course.
build something here.
Yeah.
So it's just it's an inception now. It's like small. Like obviously I'm just doing it all myself, like with all my different connections I've made. But
Hmm.
it could be potentially something crazy. Like I don't know. I'm just along for the ride and being grateful and sitting and being grateful for if I have one sale for a month or one sale for a week or two sales per week or anything. I'm just grateful. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't. It's never the numbers to me. I never wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I saved up enough money to like put it into this brand, and I like sweatshirts don't go old. You don't have to sell out immediately. You don't have to make the most money possible. You know, it's like that stuff will come and go, but like a unique culture aspect like stays forever.
Yeah.
And I
True.
wanted to make it like that.
Have you done any collaborations with other like brands or companies?
So we were talking about doing one for soccer. So
Mm-hmm.
me and Max, and we're kind of in the talk of doing that. And I want to start tapping into different businesses in San Rafael or different avenues in San Rafael or different sports teams and whatnot to like
Mm-hmm.
tap into like create something together. So I'd love that aspect of doing that
Yeah.
collaborative stuff. So I'm actually working on one right now. It's more personal, like, but I'll make a few of them for like friends and family. But my dad's been a plumber his whole life, Streckfus Plumbing in Marin County since the '80s. Like I've watched my dad wake up at 6:30 every morning, bust his ass all day, come home, you know. So I learned hard work for him. So actually, one of my tattoos, I got a pipe wrench on my wrist. So
Oh
that's from
shit.
my dad. So
That's dope.
it's like hard work every time I'm
Yeah.
feeling lazy or not feeling like I'm gonna do something. It's like hard work.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this really cool like Yosemite Sam design, but he's holding pipe wrenches, and that's his Streckfus Plumbing logo. So I'm gonna do a stacked logo of my guardian angel and his Streckfus Plumbing logo. I'm kind of deciding on what hoodie I want to do it on. Maybe on like a camo with some pink writing or something unique. 'Cause my dad's like a plain guy, so he doesn't like camo and whatnot. But like if I
Mm-hmm.
create it with his logo too, I think I could like push him to wear it a little
Got
bit.
it.
You know
Got
what
it.
I
Got
mean?
it. Yeah.
So collaborations like that, like not necessarily for the profit or the recognition, but for the happiness of doing
Got it.
that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll gift stuff for free. I'll give stuff away to a baseball team or a basketball team or anything like that, just to have like brand recognition. Like I don't care. It's not about you paying me anything. Like
Yeah.
if you have a kid that wants a hoodie and it makes him happy, like and he's on the team that you guys need a little support, like boom, easy.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to give back. Like I always want to help give those experiences to kids that don't have them,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just
True.
people that don't have them in general.
Yeah. If you were to do a collab with like the soccer teams, like how would that work? Like, would you have your logo on like
Just
kind of
kind of
sponsor type of thing, or?
not really sponsor thing. No, more like collaborative effort. So it just kind
Oh.
of depends. We were like at very very like minimal talks about it. Like
Hmm.
it's an idea right now, and I'd love to pursue it, and we'll talk about it hopefully more and like pursue it. But it could be kind of anything. It's kind of collaborating our logos, maybe integrating the logos, like designing a cool soccer shirt, maybe throwing something on there. Like it could be anything. So it's kind of get going back to the drawing board, talking to those guys, and seeing like what creative avenue they want to go on, and
Hmm.
then helping them like get there.
Got it. Got it. What are you? What's the price point for your merch? Do you want to talk about that,
Yeah,
or
for
yeah?
sure. So hoodies, $70. I want to
Hmm.
make quality stuff for under $100. That's always been my goal.
Got it.
Like most, if you go look at these LA streetwear brands, if you look up, what their hoodies go for, $200, $300. Some kid who's 13, 14 years old that can't afford that.
Yeah.
Most people in their 20s can't afford that. Most people in their 30s can't afford that. Like that's insane for a hoodie. And then you pay that, and then you're like, you wear it out and you spill mustard on it. You spill mustard on a $300 hoodie, and then you're like, crap, like now it's ruined.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make price points low. I want to, and honestly, like you could probably ask most people that have got stuff from me, it's I'll always give you a discount or I'll always throw in something for free because I don't want it to be, I need you to give me the most money for this thing. It's like you like something I made, like I appreciate that. Like let's make it happen. So, it's just been, I kind of try and keep the price points there for the hoodies, pants below 50, shorts below 50, hats below 30, beanies below 30, bucket hats below 30. I want to, make it so it's not crazy price
Yeah. True.
because it's hard to justify that stuff. Like all these high fashion brands that probably make stuff for 15, $20, charge $500 for it. Like, come on. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. It's like you said, they probably spend like $15, and they just want to get rich off something that's probably not the best quality or whatever.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just the brand. You're buying the brand. You're buying
Exactly. Yeah.
like exclusive. You're buying this like, well, it's not even exclusive because I feel like it's everywhere. If you go to
Yeah.
like a Gucci store, you can buy like whatever they want there or whatnot. But it's just so
True.
expensive.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be that. I never wanted it to be like you got to give me a lot of money for something like I made. I wanted it to be like, oh, I want you to like have a crazy discount. Why not? Like let's make it happen.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
most times it's like only $70 like for this quality. Like okay, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for because I was like I wanted to make something quality that people find quality.
True. And is there a target audience that you kind of, or
Hon- uh,
just whoever wants to get?
honestly, anyone, to be honest with you, because we
Yeah.
all have guardian angels.
Yeah.
You know, I had a grandmother from Texas buy some stuff, and I would have never thought when I started Guardian Angel there would be a grandmother in Texas that'd be interested in my stuff. But
That's
like,
crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised it just it happens.
Yeah.
So I mean, target audience is I wanted to design stuff that I want to wear, stuff that if I saw in a store, I would be like, damn, I want to buy that. Like,
Yeah.
damn, that's sick. Like, I wanted to design stuff like that so I could wear it myself. And if you're interested in it, then you buy into the brand, you buy into the belief. And if you don't, like, thanks for the compliment. Like, it's never something where, you know, it's not very traditional, I guess you could say, for a business or for a clothing company to do it like this. But I've just been so grateful in all opportunities I've had in my life. Like it's the business comes from gratitude, so it's like a gracious business, if that
Yeah.
makes
Yeah, of
sense.
course. Yeah. Yeah. I make candles, and I totally could relate with that what you're saying right now, because it's such a good feeling when people buy your stuff. You know, it's something that you
Absolutely.
put a lot of work and effort into it and stuff. You know, and then you ship it to wherever, and it's a great feeling knowing that
Absolutely.
people do enjoy your stuff. Yeah.
100%. It's
Yeah.
it's 'cause you're a creativity, you're putting yourself out there, you're being vulnerable, and someone's like, hey, I like what you did here.
Yeah.
It's being brave.
Yeah.
It's putting yourself out there in a situation like where there could be negative feedback, there could be negative comments, there could be people saying, I don't like this, I don't like that. I had
Hmm.
that early on. I would have, people be like, oh, dude, I don't know about that design, man. I don't know about that. And then
Yeah.
the next day I'd have someone, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, I'm just gonna lean into the positive stuff. I don't need all that
Yeah, yeah,
negative
it's
stuff.
always like that. We started with like six different fragrances that we thought people would like,
Hmm.
and we had the same feedback. Some people were like, I don't like it. I like something else, something
Yeah,
different. And there were other people that were like, dude, this is amazing. Like, let me get one or whatever.
yeah, for sure.
So you will never satisfy everybody.
Yeah,
It's just if you like it, uh, people will buy it eventually.
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever makes you happy. That's
exactly.
the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
thing. It's as you get older, I guess. I mean, from my personal experiences, like you kind of learn to care less about what other people think. When you're a kid, when you're in school and school's everything, it's like you care about what everyone thinks
Yeah.
because you're in this small microscope of your classroom or your community or your campus or whatever your school. And as you get older, it's like I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. Like
Yeah,
I want
true.
to make something that makes me happy. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
And if you have a negative opinion on it, like it's kind of on you for going out of your way to give me something negative about it.
Mhm.
So like I always kind of take in like, but you still went out of your way to say something. Like
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah.
And it piss people off a little bit, but just turn it into positivity.
True, exactly. Yeah. So do you ship internationally, or is it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
yeah?
yeah. All me, all handled like so. Basically, how I wanted to set it up, I said it earlier, was anyone that's interested in following me, see my company, likes my company, and you follow Guardian Angel CA, spelled like California, on Instagram. I'll send you a personal message, send you my inventory I currently have, price points, and probably a discount on some stuff. Like, so I want to make it an experience that comes to you. Like,
Mhm.
you follow this company. Most of the times, it's like you click on their website, you buy something, like you kind of know about it, whatever. But I'll literally like teach you or tell you about if you're interested in any of the stuff about the story behind it, about where it came from, about the inspiration, about anything. So I wanted to make it more personal that way.
Yeah, that's very unique. Not everybody does that, and it makes you feel special because you took the time as the owner. You took the time to write to me, for example.
Yeah,
When I started following you, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Because not everybody does that.
yeah, for
It
sure.
makes you feel special in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to because it's like I said, it's not about getting the money. It's not about that. It's about like if you like this hoodie and you rock with it, like yeah, I'll probably give you a fat discount on it just because I appreciate you rocking with my hoodie.
Yeah.
So it's fun, like because it's individual. Like me, you meet me, you talk to me, and it's something I created. It's not something that some CEO far away that you have no idea came up with and passed around a team for 20 different people that eventually made it to like the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like way more unique and way more individualistic.
True. 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 Yeah. Um. So how do you keep track of when you reach out to people? How do you keep track of your inventory? That must be really hard, or not?
No, no, not hard at
No.
all. My mom, when she stopped being a preschool teacher, she became like a home organizer and like a stager.
Uh.
Her business called that Space for Everything, but she like lives at the Container Store, so she's there all the time. Knows all the people that work there. It's super funny. So they have a bunch of like rolling hanging racks there. So all my hoodies I like have on rolling hanging racks, individually wrapped. with garment bags. So I have all those like organized nicely, the pants like organized nicely. So it's like doesn't take away too much space, and I'm able to like track the inventory that way. Like when I get all my stuff, I'll log it all on my phone or my computer, so I'll know what I have, and then when I make a sale, like I'll subtract it out
Oh,
from the
okay, okay,
spreadsheet.
okay,
So
okay.
I'll know for the most part like what I have, like
Got it.
kind of based on like eyeballing it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you done any pop-ups, or is
Um,
that not your
the
thing?
the one at the soccer game was one of my first ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just it's been something that's like uniquely grown like organically without having to do pop-ups. And it's whether I'm wearing it, where someone else is wearing it, someone tells someone, word of mouth, and it gets out. And you know, I haven't really had to, and it hasn't been some. It's been something I've always wanted to do eventually, but I've never felt like once I have that like passion to do it and to jump into that and to put it into that, it kind of makes it that makes it more of like the businessy of like give money type thing. But I could
Mm.
also spread like the culture about it too. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been having so much fun just doing word of mouth, like literally talking to people,
Okay.
and working with kids with special needs like takes a lot of my time up. So I don't have like a lot of free time, and maybe one day a week to have like my mental health day, my gym day, my relaxed day, like that's more important to me at this point than like going out necessarily and doing like a pop up.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah, pop-ups take a lot of energy and time. You have to
yeah,
set
for
up,
sure.
and it's outside, it's hot, and yeah, it's better to, like you said, take care of your mental health,
Yeah,
mental state, rather than
absolutely.
try to make a sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens organically. I'm gonna believe it happens organically, and I just believe in the universe that way.
Yeah. So what are your plans for Guardian Angel? Do you have anything in the works besides the silk shirts?
So I got this really cool all over. It's like a GA. I don't know how to kind of describe it. It's more like it's a point. It's like a pointy GA with a lot of triangles in it, and I did an all over print that I'm gonna do, and it's like a baby blue on black.
Hmm.
And I found this new company that I'm going to work with. So I'm testing their quality right now. I'm going to test to see. So I made like a couple samples.
Hmm.
I'm going to get those in and see. I made like a matching set with pants and the hoodie. So I'm going to see how it turns out, and then potentially you could have an avenue to run with those if the quality's nice, then to make more of those. But as of right now, it's just kind of as inspiration hits me. Like I have a bunch of box logos in production right now, a bunch of embroidered box logo T-shirts I'm making, box logo embroidered shorts I'm making, camo ones that are gonna be super cool. So I'm always having stuff in production. Whether it takes like a long time or whatnot, it's okay because
Hmm.
I'm just being patient.
Yeah.
You know, so it just kind of as inspiration hits me.
How do you pick and choose the garments that you use?
I test them all myself. So kind of in the beginning, it was sourcing wholesalers, is finding different hoodie companies that sell hoodies, based out of the United States, quality in the United States. And so I ordered from like multiple different companies and different avenues and wore them a while before I even put any designs on them just to see how they would, survive. There was
Oh.
some that didn't survive at all. There was some that were really high quality, and then there was some that were like the best. So I was like the best ones. Like let's run with those. Like this one that I have here is a unique hoodie in the fact that it doesn't have like drawstrings. Like most hoodies have like drawstrings here. This one has like the hood just wraps over itself without drawstrings. So it's like finding unique pieces like this, and these are like crazy soft. Once you wash it, it still remains crazy soft. Most hoodies, like a Hanes or like these hoodies you can buy for 10, $15, once you wash it once, all that soft interior is gone.
Yeah.
So it's like finding and sourcing something that remains quality over time.
Yeah. Is there a brand that you like to work with the most, or it just whatever you feel comfortable with at the moment?
Just kind of whatever I feel comfortable with at the moment. Like I don't want to like just have to stick with one style or one brand. So
So it varies. It
yeah,
changes
it
all the time.
varies. So
Okay.
different companies have like obviously a limit of what they can make. So then you have to kind of like source it somewhere else. So all over screen printing or all over designing is like a very unique aspect of fashion. Like I'm sure you've seen it before, where it's a design literally all over the whole garment. Like, and it's just constantly intricate and weaved through. It's like some places can't do that. So then you got to source it from a different place. So just kind of finding all the right pieces to put them together.
Okay. I don't know if I asked you this already, but what's like the most popular item that you've sold?
Uh, Most popular item that I've sold has probably matched between the uh, Bape, well, not the Bape, the duck camo Bape inspired Guardian Angel original logo,
Okay.
and then my mineral wash hoodie and shorts.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
been going crazy. And
Good.
it's anytime someone, buys one or says something or even gives it a compliment, I'm just like so grateful. I'm like, dude, no way. Like, this is just an inception of an idea in my head. And I was like, yeah, let's make that. And the
Yeah.
fact that people like it makes me super happy.
Yeah. Um, is there like a crazy design that you've done that like you're super proud of? Like, what's the
Uh,
craziest design you've made
one
or
that one
done?
that I'm gonna be that I'm working on right now that's like gonna be really crazy is an all over like yin yang guardian angel hoodie.
Oh shit.
So I'm in the process of working on it right now. Yin yangs have always been like super important to me. I probably can pull my sleeve up, but I have one on my elbow. Like it's
Oh damn.
perfect balance in my head is like that's what yin yangs represent to me.
Uh huh.
When I was a little kid, I would draw them all the time. Like always loved messing around with them and like making different designs of them. So like how could I make a cool, unique aspect of that? And I took a cross that I have on my back, similar to the cross on the guardian angel, and like xed it up and made it like super unique and put it in a yin yang. And then now I'm kind of processing of like spacing and style and stuff, but I think it's gonna go crazy when I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
When do you expect to drop that? Is it gonna
Um,
be a long time
it
or?
all depends on these prototypes I'm getting from this company. So that would be that same company, the protos that I'm using.
Okay.
So just depends on their quality. If their quality is amazing, like I think it was, their price points are pretty good for protos as far as quality wise. So if it's good, I'm gonna run with it, and then maybe within the next couple months, probably
Okay.
have those out.
You said earlier that you usually get around 32 pieces
Mm-hmm.
per design. Is that just because that's what you want, or is that like their MOQs, or
That's
how?
just what I wanted.
Oh,
I
okay,
just
okay,
wanted
okay.
7 of each size.
Got it, got it,
So I'll
got it.
make every once in a while. I'll make a couple 2XLs, but for the most part, it's like 7 smalls, 7 mediums, 7 large, 7 extra large, and then actually 4 2XLs.
Okay,
Right? No, 28. Yeah, 28 plus 4 is 32.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Shit, I was gonna ask you something right now. I forgot the question.
All good.
Um, what were we talking about?
The MOQs or how many designs I
oh
do
yeah,
or
the
how to get.
seven.
Yeah.
Is that just because you wanted it, or because seven has a meaning for you?
I honestly don't really know. It just kind of happened. Like my first order, I was just like, like five's not enough.
Oh, okay, 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 yeah.
10's too much. Like, let's go
Okay,
to
yeah. I
7.
just thought because seven is like a lucky
Yeah,
number, or like
20 like
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Just
Just
curious. Cool, man. So when did you start Guardian Angel?
23. So
23.
2023. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like,
This is the inception of what it was. So MJS started 2020 2021, and I kind of just did slow designs with that, and then once Guardian Angel hit, like once Brody passed, that was where there was kind of a lapse in like
oh
what I
yeah, that's
wanted
right.
to
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
and like that's why I gave away. Oops, so I gave away a lot of the stuff, so it would be like a piece of Brody was with my friends, with my family, and then Guardian Angel happened like just slowly. Like I was like, I'm gonna add the tattoo after that logo. I'm gonna make these hoodies. Like I did it slow and in a way that I like fell in love with.
Got it, got it, got
So
it.
it's like over time, doing so many different screen printing, so many different embroidering, you kind of find your like, okay, that's ready to be done. Instead of like, I could tweak this a little more, I could tweak that a little more. Guardian Angel is like everything that I'm making from Guardian Angel. It's like a lot of time goes into the design, the intricacy, and everything, and then it gets made.
Got it, got it, got it. Um, and then do you play basketball, or because I saw you one of your posts is you wearing those basketball shirts.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that
So
just for promote, like just to like
for
take
both,
pictures?
for both actually. So when I first got Brody and I started back at Benicia Valley, one of the kids that I work with in middle school, like had trouble social emotional, like making friends, making connections with kids. He's like a bigger kid, and I was like, yo, if you want to play basketball, I'll coach and I'll help you make friends. Like I'll help you build these relationships because when I was a kid, I played basketball, and that's a lot of my friends I made from basketball. Like playing basketball, having a common love for basketball, sportsmanship, like working out, like helps build friendships, especially in people that don't know how to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought him in, and he did it. He played basketball and made some friends and like facilitated some good situations for him. And I started coaching then. That was my first year, and we made it to like the second round of the playoffs and lost at Ross. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, look, we had some decent success. The next year, because most kids that go to Venetia Valley, like phenomenal soccer players.
Mm-hmm.
Like basketball, the culture there hasn't really been a thing for a while. And like I came in and it was like, kids want to play. Like let's play. Like let's run it. Let's create a culture. So a lot of the kids that I'd have on the basketball team were super good at soccer. Soccer translates over to basketball super well for boxing out, for fundamentals, for footwork, for conditioning, for everything. So I had a bunch of hella fast kids on my basketball team. So like, awesome. All right, let's see what we can do with this. I had a kid named JD on my team too. That this kid when he was in seventh grade would shoot from 30 feet plus 3 pointers and just lace them in seventh grade. I'm like, dude, how do you have the strength or the fundamentals to do this? And he's just an athlete.
Hmm.
So he was on my team too, and we the season progressed. We ended up playing against Ross at Ross in the championship. The last 30 seconds of the game, like I tell this story, it gives me chills every time because it's insane and it doesn't even make sense, but it happened. So my dad, my sister, and Rory are up in the stands, so they're watching me coach. It's my championship game. These kids have busted their butts all season long. It's me and my buddy Brandon. We're coaching, so we had worked with these kids, busted them all year long, so they could get to this point, and they were all there, super pumped up, ready to go. 30 seconds left, like I said, we're down by 8 points, and I'm like, we got here, and these kids are gonna we didn't make it. Like it's gonna be a letdown. Like I don't want to let all these kids down, man. I feel like I failed. I'm what's gonna happen?
Hmm.
That kid JD shoots like a 40 footer, banks it in. So we're down by 6. We're down by 5 at that point. I'm like, okay. We get a stop on the other end. Another kid shoots it from probably 30 feet, swishes it. We're down by 2. There's like 15 seconds left.
Damn.
And I'm like, there's no way this is gonna happen. We get another stop. There's like 7 seconds left, and we have the ball. JD, who's my top dog, my top shooter, has the ball, potentially could create a shot for himself anytime. So he goes right, goes left, gets doubled. There's a kid named Omri. I'll remember this the rest of my life. His family first generation immigrant from I want to say like maybe Pakistan, and he was a Sikh, the religion Sikhs. I don't
Hmm.
know. I'm not 100% familiar with like the terminology, but literally like he had a turban in the game. Like this kid was an amazing kid, like
Hmm.
super sweet, super kind, super cultured, and like that's what Venetia Valley was about, is bringing all these different cultures together to create something like amazing.
Hmm.
And so Omri's in there. Omri never played basketball before. He came out because all his buddies did. Like I said, 7 seconds left. JD's double teamed. He throws it to Omri. Omri just looks right, looks left, and just throws it up and swishes it. And we win the
No
championship
way.
in Ross. Venetia Valley. So Venetia Valley is one of the lowest income
Hmm.
elementary middle schools in all Marin County.
Hmm.
Ross is the highest. We came into their house and we beat them.
That's
It was
crazy.
so crazy. The thing about it was, which was kind of funny, is all the Ross coaches go up and complain like, hey, we there should be more time left on the clock, blah blah blah, like because they didn't want to lose. They were looking for an excuse to let right. So they even gave him another possession. They gave him a possession with like 5 seconds left on the clock. The kid dribbled down, shot, missed. We all like stormed the court. It was like one of my favorite experiences of my life.
Yeah,
Just
I'm sure it
to
is.
see these kids just blossom. Like once that happened, so Omri, who made that shot, they showed it at school the next day. Omri was like, "Yes, coach, no problem, coach." Just like a very quiet, introverted to himself kid. After that moment happened, they showed it at school. This kid was the biggest extrovert, confident, happy kid ever. It was
That's
so sick to
awesome.
see. So that's how basketball started coaching, like how I started coaching in basketball. And then I continued for a couple more years at Venetia Valley. And then once I transitioned out of Venetia Valley, I haven't coached since, but I do like private coaching. I do
Mm.
like workout conditioning training. I worked in sports nutrition at Max Muscle in San Rafael for like 4 years. So I learned like the aspect of the nutrition, the diet. I was like Nesta certified for diet and nutrition program like
Mhm.
writing.
Mhm.
So like took all that aspect and brought it to like basketball and brought it to like these different things, because eating is super important part of athletics. Like if you are super athletic and you're working out all the time, but you don't fuel your body with the right stuff, it's like a waste. So you got to
Yeah.
make sure that you handle both of those aspects. And yeah, coaching just became that passion for me. I want to get back into it. Hopefully, and next year maybe I can get back into coaching a little bit more basketball and
Mhm.
maybe progress up. The goal would be to coach with my dad. That'd be really fun. I think that'd be super cool. So I'm praying that that
That would be
happens.
dope. Yeah. Have you talked to him about it?
Yeah, for sure.
Is
He's on
he's on
board if
board?
he is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's just the opportunity's got to come up.
God, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and he's pretty busy with plumbing, so he's stressed. He's stressed. I don't want to say he's stressed, but there's a lot that goes into plumbing, like a
Yeah.
lot of different things. I've been working with him. That's why this week was a little busy for me. So once school gets out, I go help my dad plumbing. So like I want to do that hard work. I want to do that manual labor. I want to like be in there like handling business. So
Mhm.
just watching him work and learning the aspect of plumbing, like as I've gotten older in my life, it's crazy to see how hard he works.
Yeah. So, when you help him out, do you know what to do, or you just kind of is he shadowing you? How does that work for
A
you?
little bit of both.
Yeah.
So we're doing all the copper lines in a house right now. So we're doing bringing them up from the first story to the second story to the third story. So it's just kind of routing them, using the Pro Press, which is this really cool this tool. Instead of having to solder copper, you can use this Pro Press, and it clamps the copper, similar to solder would, just as good, but it's you don't have to solder. So it's like getting into tight places. You don't have to be using the torch or whatnot. But as far as like cutting copper, cutting cast iron, like laying out measurements, laying out lines, like I've been doing it with him for a long time, so I've got a good amount of information in my head about
Okay.
what to do. So try and just handle that. But every job's unique. If it's a house remodel or if it's a commercial building or different things like that. So it's just right now it's more so helping him like cut copper, lay out copper, lay the lines, like clamp the copper, like do things like that, make it easier for him.
Got it. Got it. Is this trade very competitive,
The
or
trade.
yeah?
Well, for an individual in plumbing, probably yeah. He's got a bunch of buddies that he works with, so he gets a lot of work that way. And
Okay,
he's
that's
always
good.
been like similar to Guardian Angel. Like he was a quality plumber. He wasn't. He did it all himself, like individually, worked hard, like believes in his craft, like believes in his work. So it's that's something that I learned from him too. And I'm just realizing that now talking to you about it, of that's the approach I want to take for Guardian Angels. Like
Got it.
make quality, do quality. Because if you do shitty plumbing, like what do you think is gonna happen? Like it's gonna be shitty,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
literally.
Yeah,
But yeah. So just working hard like that and doing it the right way. It's just kind of an aspect I was taught since I was a kid.
that's awesome. Um, and I was gonna ask you a question about basketball. I don't want to forget, and I forgot again.
All good, man.
Uh, yeah, I forgot. So if I remember, I'll ask you.
All good, all good.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. Do you have anything else that you wanna?
Oh, I want to know those flavored candle smells. Like
What's up?
what are the scents of candles? You're talking about the
What are the
flavor.
scents?
Yeah.
Oh, we have a lot. We have like 35 different scents.
Damn.
So yeah, we broke it down into collections.
Okay.
So we have like I don't know, chic and lavish is like the more fruitier scents,
Mm-hmm.
or mainly in bold are more like musky scents, and then we have citrus and herbs, all
Nice.
your rose petals, all that stuff. Woody and earthy is another scent, and then my favorite's the spa meditation.
Nice.
Those are scents where you could find like I don't know, Palo Santo, sage, dry florals,
Okay.
scents to like meditate
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff.
Get your
And then
mind right.
yeah, and then we also have like mint, grapefruit, more refreshing scent on that collection too. So like I said, we started with like one scent for each collection,
Mm-hmm.
and the way we expanded so much was because we wanted to give people more options.
Heck yeah.
And we go back to what you were saying, like people might like it, some people like it, some people don't.
Yeah.
So the scents that we chose, we thought people were gonna love and like and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a lot of mixed feedback.
Yeah.
Some people liked it, some people loved it, some people didn't. So we were like, you know what, let's expand each collection, that way, like, people get more options to choose from and stuff.
Heck yeah.
So yeah,
I'm gonna have to cop some of those for sure.
what's up?
I said I'm gonna have to cop some of those
Oh,
for
for sure.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah. And then we got some for the holidays. We have like 6 7 different candles for the holidays. And then
Nice.
yeah, we got a lot of
That's
a
awesome.
lot of scents that we carry at the moment. Yeah.
For sure. It's awesome to see you put that creativity of the idea for your clothing company and then like still keep that creativity and put it in candles. Like you got to keep that creativity in you is going to keep bugging you until you keep putting that creative out there.
Exactly.
You know
Yeah.
what I
That's something that my wife has told me, that she's like, you never stay still. Like there's
mean?
always something. Like I can't just not do anything. I need to have something going on.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep that
Just
creativity
and as far
going.
as the clothing brand, I just had a lot of ideas. I just didn't know how to, get my thoughts, my expressions to a design.
Yeah. Well,
I try to use different companies like Fiverr.
hmm
It just didn't work. It just they made things that they tried their best, I guess, to like replicate my thoughts, but
yeah.
I just didn't,
Yeah, for sure.
like it. Yeah.
Well, you got it in your back pocket if you ever want to do it. And now you know someone that has the pipeline for you if you ever
Yeah, for
need.
sure. Yeah.
If you
Thanks
ever
for
want to start a
sharing.
clothing company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah. I
got
mean,
you.
it was a nice experience. I there was a lot of late nights, trying to like
For
make it
sure.
work and stuff, but it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And now I have a podcast.
Yeah, well, this podcast is
Yeah.
amazing, and I appreciate you having me on here and letting me tell my story and just share my guardian angel and a little bit of my life experience with you and with your audience. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I thought you were like you went to you were like a soldier or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and I was like just curious. Like I really want to know what
Is-
Guardian Angel is all about, and
y-
it's total different.
yeah. I mean, I've had another lady. That's funny that you said soldier. I'll take soldier. This other lady thought it was like a jail thing.
A
She's like, oh,
jail thing?
because I got all these tattoos on my arms, so she's assuming I was probably like this is in the gym. She's probably assuming maybe I've been done time in jail. I don't know
Oh, I
why,
see,
because
I
all
see. Okay,
like
okay,
my
okay.
tattoos are like pictures of like my favorite toy when I was a kid and like Mighty
What is that?
Ducks.
Oh, Mighty Duck.
Yeah, so like I have a toy literally sitting on my shelf in my bathroom. That's this toy from like there's a collection. There's a TV show. It's not just from the movie Mighty Ducks or from like the logo for the hockey team. There's like a TV show in like the '90s.
I used to watch that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and this is my favorite character. So I was like, absolutely, I'm
That's
gonna put that
awesome.
on. And then just different things like all the roses throughout are all from my grandma's garden. My grandma grew roses. She's in heaven now, and as my guardian angel too. But
Mm-hmm.
all her roses are with me, and there's a black mamba on here for Kobe Bryant, and just different all my tattoos are like unique pieces of my life. So it's funny that she just equated them to being in prison.
Yeah,
That's funny you said the thing about soldier. I don't know, I'll
yeah.
take what I can get, I guess. If I'm getting recognition and someone's interested in it, I'm like, all right, cool, sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you see the name, the signs, and then you don't know what the brand's
Yeah,
about, so you just start thinking of what could it be, you know.
yeah,
So that's why I was like, let me bring him to the podcast. I want to get to know him, get
yeah,
to know
for
the
sure.
brand and stuff. Yeah.
I appreciate that major.
Yeah. So your tattoos, that's cool that you go to one
One guy,
artist.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's done all of them.
Y-
I grew up with him too. So
Oh,
yeah,
really?
so we grew up in the same neighborhood that Roy grew up in. He grew
Okay.
up in them too. And he's a little older, so reconnecting with him for him doing my tattoos and something like like that much of an expression of me is amazing. Like his
Yeah.
his work is so quality.
Yeah, and your tats will look cleaner, I think, because if different people do it, different people have different
Yeah,
styles.
for
Like
sure.
some like make them darker.
And it doesn't like flow and mesh. All mine I have just black and grays because I wanted to do essentially my idea is this is my life before wife and kids, and then this is my life after wife and kids. So it's
Okay.
like I joke with my mom and my dad or like about having an open casket and like a little index cards that have all my tattoos and meanings on them.
Yeah,
That would be like a funny idea, so my whole life story will be on me while
that
I'm
would be
sitting in my
dope.
casket.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Hopefully I can have it when I'm alive too, though.
yeah. Um. So do you have a wife?
No.
You're still looking
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
wife
yeah.
for that second part of your.
Yeah,
Awesome,
when the
awesome.
time comes,
Yeah, of course.
when the time comes. But yeah, no, that was my idea. Once I started doing my tattoos back when I was like 23, I was like, like because I always want to approach something unique. Like I don't want to just get tattoos to get tattoos. I don't want to get something to get something. So a lot of them are like my family members, my relatives that have passed. Like this one, it says Mellow Bros. It's my mom lost two of her brothers within 6 months, like super
Oh
super quick and
damn,
tragically for both of them, and gained
crazy.
them as guardian angels too. So it's like they're part of my brand, they're part of my arm, they're part of my life,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Brody and my dad sitting on a jet ski in Lake Shasta, like something like that. Like
That's
that's I'm
dope.
never gonna be upset with that at all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's getting stuff like I always recommend. When you want a tattoo, like don't do it for if you're in like a time in your life you're like I don't have any idea what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get a tattoo. Like
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. But if you take your time and find something that you truly love and are passionate about or means something to you, and you get a tattooed on you, you're never gonna be upset with it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
true.
be upset with those impulse ones that you don't like. So that's what like my grandma would be like, "Aren't you gonna be upset with all those tattoos?" And I was like, "No, I love all of them." And I was like, "You're actually right here. Here's you right here, here, and here." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I actually kind of like that." Like
Yeah, I mean it's
exactly.
your body. I mean it's with you forever. So you gotta think about what you're gonna
Yeah, for
add
sure.
to your body and stuff. You gotta like it
Absolutely.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always recommend just taking your time and thinking about it first before you just go impulsively get one when you're 18 or whatever.
Yeah, true.
I didn't get my first one until I was 23, so it took me time to think about it, meticulously get them done. My first one was this is my cross on my back, which is an Old English cross similar to my logo, and my last name and my grandmother and mom's maiden name fits perfectly in the horizontal with my last name vertical.
Oh shit.
And I used to draw in high school, and I was just like, "There's no way that this all lines up like this." Like, and I just like kept drawing it. The idea was there. After college, I was like, I want to start like creating this. I want to start facilitating these ideas I had in my head. And I went to my buddy Laurent, and Laurent, and he did it, and it was just the rest was history.
That's awesome. Um, how many tats do you have? Do you have
No, I don't have a count. I don't have a
you don't?
count of them. I know where they all are, where they all are,
Oh,
but
okay,
like
okay,
as far as a count of them, maybe like if you broke them down to like individual pieces, like I'd probably say maybe 20, 25.
okay.
So there's a lot of unique, like in my forearm and my arm, there's probably like 12 different things, like whether it's a pipe wrench, whether it's like the semicolon for mental health, whether it's love, or the heart I wear on my sleeve. It's just different aspects of like all these different individual ones. Add up to a lot.
What did your parents say when you first got your?
Well, my first one
Your
was my last, like I said, my last name, and then my mom and grandma's maiden name in the horizontal.
uh-huh.
And my dad, like when I first got my ear pierced, my dad didn't talk to me for like 6 months. He's like old school blue collar worker, so he's just like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing, piercing your ear, blah blah blah." And I was like, "I want to. It looks sick. Like I like it. I'm trying to build some swag and have some individuality."
For sure, yeah.
And like didn't understand that. So when I got my first tattoo, it was like my mom was such a G, and she would like help me put. It was like still on my back, couldn't reach it, so she'd help me put lotion on it, like hide it from my dad. And then eventually, I was like, fuck it. Like I was like, I'm just gonna show him. Like it has his name in it. I was
Yeah,
like, maybe some part of him will be like, oh, okay, actually that's kind of dope.
yeah.
I showed it to him, and he at first was like, oh, like why'd you get a tattoo? And then after he was like, actually, I kind of like that. And then now he'll like show my tattoos off to his friends. So I'm like, it's kind of full circle now, which is sick,
That's funny.
and I'm grateful for. I'm grateful
Yeah,
for the change. A lot of our parents have like old school way of thinking
yeah,
sometimes, and then when you like give them a perspective to like see and like connect the dots, it helps a
yeah.
lot for sure.
True, yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, man. It was a pleasure having you.
Absolutely, pleasure
Thank
being
you for
here.
stopping by.
Hell yeah,
I love your story. I love what you're doing. Keep it up.
thank you. I appreciate that,
If
Major.
you wanna look at the camera, just one more time, let people know where they could find you. Your name,
Yeah,
your
for
social
sure.
media accounts, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
So on Instagram, Guardian Angel CA. That's the one where you can find me. You send me a follow, send you a personal message with a discount on my inventory I have in stock right now. If you're interested in anything, awesome. If you just want to follow and shoot some likes, awesome. I appreciate the support regardless.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you very much for once again for stopping by, and
Absolutely.
peace, everybody.